I think the power of investing together as a community is what that's the approach I'll use, that we can get better leverage terms with our sponsors if we invest together as a community. And that's what my sponsors, will they allow me to bring in folks like that so that we can have a better terms than their own retail investors can get in a lot of cases.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Investor Fuel podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Kesil, and today I'm joined by someone I'm looking forward to chatting with, Marshall Sykes, who is a seasoned investor, founder of Capitano Investing Group, and he also has a private investor community. So excited to have you on the show today, Marshall.
Michelle, I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, absolutely. I think our listeners are really going to take something away from how you have approached your investing business, being able to grow, scale, and support others. So let's dive in.
Let's do it.
First off, for those who are not familiar with you and your world, can you share what your main focus is?
Yeah, right now I'm mainly my background's in real estate. I grew up in a real estate development family and got involved in single family rentals for a long period. Had those for over 25 years. And then I kind of pivoted a little bit to multifamily investments. And then I pivoted even further to oil and gas, as well as into pre-IPO companies, because I wanted the diversification that, real estate didn't provide a lot of diversification, and I knew I needed some. Realized I was kind of over leveraged in real estate.
What does that mean? That you were over leveraged in real estate? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, I think 60% of my assets or 80% were in real estate, my net worth, and so it's like that's a lot of net worth to be tied to one particular market. And so I wanted to diversify out of that and understand. So I've worked on a little bit of that with some really superior partners. So I've been able to network into oil and gas business that I was with ExxonMobil for almost a decade. So I understood oil and gas, but investing in the oil was a little bit different. And so I found really good partnerships, sponsors that do that. And so I can bring my investor community to that oil and gas plays that they're invested in.
Awesome. And as far as real estate, what type of real estate investments are you focused on? Like fix and flip, short term? What's your go-to?
Yeah. My original go-to was building a couple rentals at a time, selling one to make a little bit of profit, and then keeping one as a rental. So that was kind of the pattern that we used for 15 or so years. And then more into then I started investing as a limited partner.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
In multifamily deals, and then I have done as a general partner, I've been a general partner in some multifamily deals as well.
Awesome.
I
What
haven't tried the
are
fix and flip thing yet, so I have some short-term rentals as well with some of partners. Fix and flip, I've thought about that. I haven't done that yet, but that's something maybe I'll do that in the future. I don't know. I'd probably focus more on other types of investments at this point.
yeah, what types of investments are you planning to focus on?
Yeah, so what I've really, focused on the last couple of years is trying to figure out my allocation and trying to diversify in my investments, and so I set aside some for, like, short-term loans or oil and gas, pre-IPO companies. I even have some investments in a fintech company, and then there are some people that need capital for their fix and flips, and so I've done a little bit of that as well.
So it sounds like you're gearing out of real estate and into other investments. Is that correct?
I would say that's pretty accurate. I've tried to I like real estate. I grew up in the family doing real estate. It's kind of in my blood, but, at the same time, I realized that there are other types of investments out there, so I've done a lot of study on that and a lot of networking to get into the even better deals than maybe real estate can offer. Definitely different types of investments. I think it's important to have some real estate, because real estate has so many different benefits to it, for taxes as well as appreciation and cash flow. But also I like I like the idea of companies that have already made it past they're not startups anymore. They've already made it past that stage, and they're actually producing revenue, but more, they need some more benefits so our group that I'm in, we bring in a couple of other key items that they're missing so we can take them to an IPO or take them up to a 4x return after, 4 years. So that's kind of what we're looking at doing in that group, one of the groups that I'm in with pre-IPO companies.
Awesome. So, what are you most focused now on maybe solving or scaling to next in your business?
I think trying to get the word out to people a little bit more of what I do and kind of being more vulnerable on my side of what made some of the failures I've had and try to be show them how I've overcome those, and I know that people in investing, there's easy to make a bad investment, and so I want to be able to help people make good investments, but you grow in those bad investments, and so or not so good investments. So, that's kind of where I'm focused on is helping my investor community get into really good deals with really good sponsors that have really compelling returns, and the risk downside is mitigated.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you feel are some main keys that have made the biggest difference for you as you were growing your business?
I think part of it is a little bit of coaching. So I've done some coaching. I've been in a lot of different groups with coaching, and some There are particular ones with, I did some sales coaching this past year that was really beneficial, just amazing, honestly.
If you're looking for consistent, high quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
And how I gives me more confidence as a capital raiser, as well as being able to talk to investors in their language. That was very helpful for me. But also, I did some marketing. I was in a marketing group for a couple years as well, and so learned a little bit about capital raising from that group, and made a lot of good connections, network connections that now I feel like I'm ready. I'm not running it. I'm not walking anymore. I'm definitely running as far as investments are concerned, and I've kind of grown in a lot of the areas where I can help other people out. I can help my investor community out, to get in those better deals.
Can you expand on your investor community, what that looks like?
Yeah, so my investor community, I was in the Navy for 25 years. I retired as a captain, and the name of our group is called Capitano Investing Group because I was stationed in Italy. I like the Capitano little flair. I love going to Italy, and I kind of wanted to bring that little bit of flavor to the group. But it's around 300, mostly military veterans and or engineers from the oil and gas field. Of course, anybody can join it. It's a free investor community to join. But so we really focus. I gear a lot of my marketing towards military veterans and that have retired. Most of them have retired or they're out in the military and they're making good wages. They're making good high salary, but they maybe are unfamiliar with investing, particularly in syndications or oil and gas type deals. So I wanted to really spread the news to them that you don't have to only invest in the stock market. There's a lot of other options out there. And I like the stock market some, but I'm not going to put all my money in the stock market. I think a lot of people are over leveraged, particularly military veterans, because they don't understand real estate. They don't understand investing in syndications or pre-IPO companies. So I want to just kind of get that message out there to them and give them other options.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, how do you help them get started in their real estate journey?
Yeah, I think the big part is kind of educating them at their level, but also just nurturing them on a consistent basis helps a lot. I know a lot of them from my past, I know almost, I'd say 90% of them are former colleagues or acquaintances that know me, so, it's easy to have a one-on-one conversation with them, so I do a lot of that as well.
Awesome. And as far as your community, like what are the types of people? I know you mentioned like military and stuff, but are these people that like have never invested before or they already have some experience under their feet?
Yeah, I think ones that I found that the ones who actual invest, I mean, there's 300 in our group, maybe 100 of those have invested, right? So, um, the ones that are easier to invest, that find it easier to invest are the ones who have done some kind of real estate investment in the past, maybe just a single family home that they rented out, that kind of thing. But they're experienced with that passive income kind of idea and what the benefits are of owning real estate as an investment are. So those are the ones that I find are a little bit easier to invest in a syndication type of a deal. But
Yeah,
also,
absolutely.
getting back
But
further on that, so the oil and gas business, I was in the oil and gas business for 10 years, but when I first offered an opportunity to invest in a oil and gas deal, there was some education there. I mean, there was some education as far as teaching folks how about oil and gas deals and why.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
It's a good time to invest right now because the commodity prices are down for oil. What happens when you do invest in an oil deal? And so we went through a little bit of some of it's the technical kind of what's a oil well even about because I think when I first went to Exxon, I may not have understood this, and I know a lot of people don't understand it. Is that when most wells that you drill have oil and gas in them and other natural gas liquids in them. So you're getting all three commodities out of that single well. But a lot of people think, hey, it's just a natural gas well or it's an oil well. No, it's a combination of it. Really, is what they are. So there's some technical details like that that help investors understand as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's important to share. What would you say your goals are for your business moving forward?
Yeah, I've thought about that a lot as the end of the year is approaching here. What I want to do in 2026, and I will take a few days, kind of just to get off and have a little retreat on that. My wife and I are going to do that for 3 days, probably, and get away from the house and kind of think through the goals, what we want to do in 2026. I think one of them is always growing your investor community because there's always other folks that need to hear the message or you want to help. So that's part of it. The other part is kind of doubling down on the folks that are in there. I mean, like I said, there's 200 or so who haven't invested. So I want to make sure that they're not left behind as well. And I may do some more personal reach out to them to see where they're at and what they want to do in the future. Maybe some of them don't want to be part of the community any longer. Maybe they find some other avenues or their situation has changed. So I want to clean up some things on that. I also want to clean up some things on my businesses because I want to make sure that I'm solid all the way across the board. And I've been flying so much the last couple of years. I need to take some time and maybe the next 6 months and just kind of ease a little bit and get some things cleaned up before I dive into another venture.
Yeah, definitely. I know you mentioned that networking is something that you really love to work on. Are there specific networking strategies that you have found made the biggest difference for you?
I think, well, I like the social situations and networking. So I like being in part of groups, and I do call into several different groups each week on Zoom calls, but also do in-person conferences. So I've got 3 that are already scheduled for in January that are part of my investor, masterminds that are hosting their own conferences. So I'm looking forward to networking there. And so I think in-person events really make a difference. I like being on the Zoom calls because you get to connect with people that way too. But in person is really where you have the real deep relationships and the sidebar conversations. And really you can learn from each other and understand where each other are in your investment journey, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Those relationships are everything in this space.
Most definitely. I mean, I think that's the thing because people invest when they trust, right? And so you that I'm able to see what they're like, they're able to see what I'm like, so that's in an in-person event, that really makes a difference.
Yeah. And are you holding in-person events for your community?
No, that is one of my goals for 2026 to start doing that at a local area here, because I moved to a new area 3 years ago, but it's basically back where I grew up in North Carolina, but there's a lot of retirees here, so I kinda wanna do a reach out to them to help them understand that there's a type of investment they can get involved in, not just with stock market, investing.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there like a specific real estate strategy that you give for your first timers that you find they have maybe the most easeful approach with?
I think for them, I think it's a matter of starting small and understanding, not really trying to do it on their own necessarily. I mean, especially the folks that I'm after, they're mostly executives or they're later in life. I mean, so they're not gonna go out and do a fix and flip or anything like that. So, I think the power of investing together as a community is what that's the approach I'll use, that we can get better leverage terms with our sponsors if we invest together as a community, and that's what my sponsors, will they allow me to bring in folks like that so that we can have a better terms than their own retail investors can get in a lot of cases.
What does that mean to invest as a community?
I put together a fund myself, so I'm a fund manager, and we all invest within that fund into a bigger to a with a sponsor. So normally we bring $1 million to $2 million to that investor, to that sponsor. And so when you cross the $1 million mark within a sponsor like that, you can usually get better terms than there. So, for example, in the oil and gas business the deal I'm in, they'll give me 85-15% splits. So they'll take a 15% split, give us 85%. I'll have a split within my fund, but even with that split within my fund, we have a better terms than an investor would have going directly to that sponsor, because if they go directly to that sponsor, they'll have a 70-30 split, normally where the sponsor takes 30%, whereas our fund would probably between the sponsor and my fund, they would probably have a 75% stake instead of a 70% stake. Let's just call it that for ease of numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. Thanks for sharing that. So before we wrap up here, if someone wants to reach out, connect, learn more, where can people find you and connect with you?
Well, I love to connect with people, so I'd love for them to reach out to me. I have a site called investwiththecaptain.com that they can go to, and they can download a free playbook on investing, and it gives them a guide on different types of investments like oil and gas, pre-IPO companies, multifamily. But they go to investwiththecaptain.com, and I'll get their email, and we can connect from there. They can also reach out to me on LinkedIn.
Perfect. Appreciate your time and your perspective. Thank you for being here.
Michelle, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure today.
Of course. And for the listeners tuning in, if you got value, make sure you've subscribed. We've got more conversations with operators like Marshall who are building real businesses, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.